And welcome everyone, this is the Mind Sculptors gameplay coverage of the 2021 MLC season. I'm your host Callahan and we have a great game lined up for you all today, but before we get into that, I just want to thank you all for joining us today and checking out this gameplay episode. If you like this gameplay or any of our other gameplay episodes, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want access to our Discord server, as well as some extra content, and want to support not only the MLC, but also the Mind Sculptors, you can head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/themindsculptors, or you could check out the link in the description down below. Also, if you like any of the cards that are seen here today, you can go to our TCG Player affiliate link down in the description. And down there, you can pick those up and you will be supporting the MLC and the Mind Sculptors. So today, we've got four great contestants here for us today. Going first is Coinman. These are all Eastern Conference players. Coinman's going to be playing the GITROG monster. Going second from Into the North is Sick Robot playing 5-color Storm with GOLOS. Going third, one of my fellow Sculpty boys is Scotty playing KELS, DIMIR SCEPTER. And going last over there is Rebel. Coin, will you be able to see when I start the timer if I jump over to go talk to Cam? Perfect. Awesome. I'm going to go hop over there. You guys, good luck. And then when I start the timer, you may begin. All right, and welcome everybody. Right here, I've got a very special guest joining me today from Play to Win, the iconic Dylan. Play to Win Dylan. Thank you for joining us today. How's it going today?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be
absolutely. Here. Thank you so much. I know that you were originally supposed to be on Mental Misplay, and you know, Alan had some stuff come up, so we're covering for him. So thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Making it work.
There is a couple of things that I just wanted to address before we get too deep into this. We do have a campaign going right now. That is with Rebel and Alter Sleeves. We'll have more information on how you can win some Rebel branded Alter Sleeves if you stick around to the end of the game. So you'll want to check that out as well. So like I said there in the opening, we've got four really good decks. We've got the GITROG monster, we've got GOLOS, we've got KELS, we've got TYMNA, TANA, Protean Hulk. What do you say we get into this, Cam? Or Dylan, excuse me.
Let's get into it. Yeah, let's do it.
Starting the timer, we've got 100 minutes, so we should be going. So for those sitting at home, I'll let you know. So Coinman did keep his first 7. He is on GITROG Monster. They're going first. Going second is Sick. He did keep his... he mulled down to 6, I believe. And Scoots mulled down to 6, and Rebel took her second 7. And they should be starting here. I know Coin is supposed to be watching the stream to see when it starts. I believe there's about a 20-second delay. So there we go. So going into this pod here, Dylan, what are your expectations on how this goes down as Coin drops a what is that? A
Wooded Foothills?
Wooded Foothills, yeah. Couldn't remember the name.
Yeah, well, my expectations would probably be that this is going to be a very fast pod, but as we look at a turn 1 Ancient Tomb from GOLOS and a pass, I'm not sure if that's actually going to be the case. All of these decks are very fast combo decks. GOLOS, GITROG, and TYMNA, TANA are kind of all in. KELS being the only control deck here, but looks
mental
like
misstep on the Soul Ring.
KELS getting controlled before getting to get out there.
Okay, that seems fair.
I would expect normally a fast pod out of this from what I'm seeing from these decks, but it doesn't look like GITROG or GOLOS kept a particularly explosive beginning. Yeah. I'm interested to see if Rebels start knowing Rebel, I would imagine she kept a pretty powerful one.
Yeah, she and Sage are the two people that tend to keep some of the more aggressive, like they tend to aggressively molt.
Yeah.
And that is like very interesting to me because I'm the complete opposite of that. I'm a big old Thrasios TYMNA player. I love to just mold to a decent 7.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it depends on the format and the deck. I think in CDH often you are benefited from being very offensive, being very attacking. So mulliganing to a very low number, especially if you can mulligan to getting out an early card advantage engine, you can so quickly draw back into those cards.
Right.
But I also understand the fear of going below 5 or 6. Starts getting risky once you get to 4, hoping that you find the Jeweled Lotus.
Now, Sick Robot, he is going second there. He is 1-4 on the season. Currently, last week, he won on Viral's Hulk, and that's his first win on there. And this is now the second time he's played this 5-color Storm list. And he is currently 0-1. So everybody here, I believe, has a victory. No, Coinman doesn't. Coin is 0-2. So that is what the records look like here early on.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Coinman does have some experience in Golgari decks.
Yes.
I'm assuming this is the same Coinman that built and brewed Nath originally for ZDH.
Correct.
A different Golgari deck, kind of the opposite end of a Golgari. Nath is very slow, Gitrog's very fast, but maybe with the experience, Coinman will be able to pick up a win. But Rebel Imperial Stealing on turn 1 here, I'm not so sure.
In this TYMNA TANA Protean Hulk, this is what are you thinking is the tutor target here?
It really depends so much on what's in Rebel's hand. I know getting Hulk and into play and sacrifice is the main goal, but it really just depends what part of that combo that Rebel has in her hand that is going to depend on what the Imperial Seal goes and gets. But I would imagine some way to get rid of a Protean Hulk, I imagine, is what the Imperial Seal is going after.
That would seem reasonable. To get a Protean, oh, man, I've got Hulk on the brain. Windfall from Sick. Windmill Slam the Windfall.
Oh, sure.
And that'll be interesting. We'll see what happens here.
Little risky with GITROG playing, with Coinman playing out the some extra mana there, going to be able to untap with a full grip, but
we are getting a Noxious Revival from Rebel. I don't know what she is targeting.
Imagine
the Imp Seal.
Okay. Yeah, might as well tutor again.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, this TYMNA TANA deck is an A+B combo deck, so if you can find one piece and find the second piece, seems like a path to victory.
Yeah. And it looked like Reed just had a couple dorks and lands in that hand. So, yeah, that seems reasonable to want to windfall that away. So we got a Body Snatcher, a Carrion Feeder, is that a
Veil of Summer and
Autumn's Veil? Autumn's Veil, and 2 lands, and it looks like a Notion Thief and a bunch of lands from Scotty. And Carpet of Flowers, Utopia, Sprawl, City of Brass, Lanor Elves. Oh, man, Quain is doing the old classic Dredge thing of playing his lands out like that. Oh, boy. Here we go. I when I played Modern a lot, there were people who would just lay their graveyard out in front so that they could show you what was happening.
Yeah, when your graveyard's such a big part of what your deck strategy is, sometimes it's important to have it all visible, but...
So Get Probe from Scotty. Interesting to see who he targets. Everybody did draw 7, it looks like.
I would imagine he'd be targeting Rebel, since Rebel tutored. Yeah. Oh, yep.
Okay, so we got...
What's happening?
Marilyn. Okay.
Oh.
That's spooky. Protean Hulk. And an Imp Seal.
Interesting.
None of that sparks joy.
It definitely doesn't. I wonder if the second Imp Seal was meant to find an opposition agent or something.
Yeah, that would make sense. I believe she took a similar line last week.
Okay.
Um, or the last time she played this deck. I don't remember if it was last week or the week before. Um, so let's see. Preordained from Scotty. So now I'm kind of interested to see what we get out of Coin Man here. Oh, it did look like Sick had an opposition agent in hand.
Interesting.
All right. We're over onto Rebel's turn draw.
Yeah, if
And
Rebel didn't draw something incredible, I don't think she's going to be doing much this turn. If I
yeah,
remember correctly, she just had lands and kind of expensive stuff in her hand, right? Besides that Imperial Seal, I guess that's a pretty good thing to be doing.
so there's the Taiga. And there's the
Yep.
Imperial Seal. And I would assume that Imperial Seal is probably going to be going after a opposition agent.
Definitely could be. I'm not super familiar with this deck. I'm not exactly sure how Protean Hulk can be sacrificed from this stage. If there's something in the deck that would be able to get Protean Hulk into play and sacrificed immediately. I'm trying to see here. I'm not sure that there is, but if there were, a Rebel probably knows what it is and is probably looking for that. If
Sylvan
reason I-
Library would be the thing, I think. Or not Sylvan Library, Survival of the Fittest.
Survival of the Fittest would be a good start. So maybe, maybe Survival of the Fittest. Just because on only 2 mana here, 3 next turn with no actual ramp, that opposition agent into Maryland seems very far away. But maybe it's worth taking the time off to do it. I'm not sure.
I think I would opt for the Survival here, because it gives you a way to bin the what's it
Protean
called?
Hulk.
The Hulk, and get a way to get it back. Now, it is awkward that the Body Snatcher's in the graveyard, though.
I was just gonna say, yeah, the Body Snatcher was discarded, so that makes things a little bit more difficult. But there is an Apprentice Necromancer that could be helpful.
Yeah.
Again, that is a little bit slow, but at least progresses more towards an active win a little bit quicker than the Op Agent Marlin.
Right.
But with everyone freshly windfalling, they may all be looking to tutor and get some important things. Although it looks like Coinman is vampiric tutoring right now.
Yeah. Now, I'm trying to hear, what are we thinking to go after on this board state? So presumably we're getting a frog next turn.
I think so. Yeah, we have the mana to do it. I would imagine a discard outlet would be ideal right now. He just Coinman just windfalled, so there might be a land or two in hand. You don't even need to play one to get GITROG out. I would imagine this Vamp Tutor is looking for some type of discard outlet to hopefully find Dakmor Salvage at some point, or maybe if the discard outlet's already there, maybe we're just looking for Dakmor Salvage.
Right. Now this is on upkeep because he did tap out to
pass
the Grim Monolith last turn, so he does have to
Really
play a land out. I don't think that's going to be a huge issue for this deck.
GITROG does let you play a second one as well.
Yeah.
So that's also helpful.
I've heard tell that deck plays a lot of lands.
Yeah. A couple more than the ordinary. Although, to be honest, not a ton more, only 35, which is a lot for CDH deck, but
yeah.
It's not like it's playing 45 lands or something.
Listen, when my decks have like 28. So
yeah.
Oh, Jeweled Lotus.
Oh, yes,
That's
we're getting
hot.
to GITROG very quickly.
Okay. Putrid Imp.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Here's the discard outlet. So a win looks like it's coming pretty soon.
So does that mean he just has the Dakmor?
We're not quite. He might, maybe. I'm not sure. We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure.
Let's see what we're getting here. Cracking Prismatic Vista. Everybody seems like team is passing on the Vista.
Now, this is kind of a curious play. If I'm not mistaken, if we would have not played the discard outlet first, We could have casted GITROG first and then cracked this fetch land, getting a draw off of it. And then being able to find a land for a Putrid Imp, but perhaps I'm not aware of something that Coinman's trying to do with their mana. Doesn't make a ton of difference, but maybe could have gotten an extra card there.
Right. So I believe there should be like a colorless floating here.
I think so, because we have 3 from the Jewel Lotus, 1 from that forest that was just fetched.
Right.
That's 4, so it should be 2 colorless floating.
2 colorless, okay. So there's 2 colorless floating. And a Putrid Imp has hit the board.
I know. I don't see any dredge cards in the graveyard, correct?
I don't see any of the dredge cards in the graveyard at the moment, no.
So depending if that Vampiric Tutor got this Putrid Imp or got something else, the game could be over right now, or we could be done and Coinman could be whiffing.
I feel like if... Man, I might be wrong. I don't know. I feel like slamming those on the same turn says I have... Okay, Gaia's Cradle for turn.
So this should be 4 total mana? No, that's a Life from the Loam. That's a pretty good start. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, this is
Force of Negation from Scotty.
That's a pretty good target for the Force of Negation
That's
too.
That's
going to exile, which means no more dredge.
Wow. Timely Force of Negation from the blue-black deck.
So the deck that was expected to have some interaction did have some. That's pretty good. Although, this doesn't really stop the GITROG. This kind of just delays the inevitable.
Yeah.
If no one does anything, GITROG's still going to be able to build up a lot of momentum next turn.
Now we'll see what Sick has in hand after going through the tapping out to Windfall here. We have seen a piece of interaction go there from Scotty. We know Rebel really doesn't have anything.
Besides Imperial Sealing twice. That's pretty important to know.
That is important. As far as trying to interact here with something that Reed might be doing. I think he's trying to decide what land to play.
These GOLOS decks can be kind of interesting. Sometimes they look like they're doing nothing for a while before they just kind of dump everything and win right away. So GOLOS not doing anything really for the first 2 turns doesn't necessarily mean that GOLOS isn't planning on winning right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. The GOLOS deck I played, you just aggressively mold to a turn 1 Mishra's Workshop. What are you talking about?
There are some different ways to build GOLOS. That sure is true. But this one, from what I'm seeing here, is a Storm variant.
It is a Storm variant. It's not a don't have fun variant.
Yeah, what's that 6 mana artifact that I know you love so much?
Godpharaoh statue?
That's the one, Godpharaoh statue. You got a mulligan to a turn 1 Godpharaoh statue. That's the play.
Turns out that when your deck is just 1,000,001 ways to cheat in expensive artifacts, it's not too hard.
Yeah, just put the biggest, dumbest ones you can. Put them in there.
All right, so we're cracking a Misty Rainforest here. And I assume this is getting an Underground Sea.
Makes sense to me.
Volcanic Island might also be correct, but I think you want the black. Yep, Underground Sea. Be interesting to see what's gonna happen here. What's the best Golos deck right now? Drew Pierce asks, and Gus Osterwick replies, not the one Callahan is talking about. I would generally agree with that, but there is a Cabal Ritual on the stack, and I believe there is Threshold in the graveyard.
So remember what I was saying, that just because Golos doesn't seem like they're doing anything doesn't mean that they're not trying to win this turn? This, to me, looks like we may be working towards an ad nauseum.
This feels like a Naz. There is a colorless floating off that Ancient Tomb.
Yep. And 5 black.
And we do have a blue or green available. Using 1 and a colorless to cast a Fellow Stone. So this might be a value Cabal Ritual. Who knows?
It still looks like that's ad nauseam mana plus backup, but maybe not. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe we're just jamming out a Ristic Study. Oh, it's an Underworld
Underworld
Breach.
Breach. Okay.
Yep, I'm seeing it now.
All
It's starting to
right.
make a little more sense.
Well, all
Seemed
right.
like that windfall was pretty kind to Sick. That's nice to see.
There's not a lot in the graveyard, though.
Not a ton, but yeah.
It really depends on what's in his hand.
I would imagine there has to be an ad nauseam in there, or we'll see. Who? Let's not guess. We're about to find out, right?
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll see. So we're seeing 2 there. Talisman of Indulgence, or Talisman of Dominance, excuse me. 3. Or is he just jamming out the Op Agent? He's just jamming out the Op Agent.
A value breach. It's just a value breach?
It's a value breach.
Interesting.
Evidently, that's a thing you can still do.
Pose?
Wow.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, if you know the Protean Hulk is coming,
Right.
and you don't have a way to win, this is good enough, I suppose. You get to progress your mana
Significantly, actually.
Yeah, it's not the worst play. I like it. It's kind of heads up on the table. Looks like we may have lost Rebel for a second. She's very upset that the opposition come into play. Discard again.
There she is.
All right.
That does happen from time to time. We're going over to Scotty's turn.
Player Rebel is used to opposition agent completely ruining her day. I think
the greatest CEDH video of all time.
Yeah.
I love that video. Sage in the chat says you can just play Breach for value.
I suppose it's an option.
It is allowed.
I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's when it's good when you need to. It gets done what you need to get done.
It turns out that it's a mana cheaper than Yawgmoth's Will.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right,
this looks like
that's Goblin Bombardment.
Goblin Bombardment. Of course, that's Goblin Bombardment. Now that I see that more clearly.
Reanimate. Targeting.
Oh.
Body Snatcher.
No.
Oh, they're gonna discard the Hulk with this. That's a line that I didn't see.
But we're still not allowed to search.
You're still not allowed to search, but it doesn't bring the Hulk back. It just puts the Body Snatcher into play.
Okay.
But you have, and I can confirm this, the hardest part of Hulk sometimes can be binning the Hulk, actually.
We have the Goblin Bombardment in play now, so
yeah.
At least there's that covered. But getting to the opposition agent makes things a little bit more tricky.
It looks like the tables, I think this is currently sitting on Scotty to try and figure out what to do here, because I don't imagine Coinman has any interaction here.
Probably not. The issue here is, do you try to stop Rebel from doing something powerful and lose your interaction for Coinman?
Chain of Vapor.
Like that's what the play is. But I wonder if that Chain of Vapor is going towards GITROG, making Coinman trying to do something else about Rebel, or if Scotty's just going right for the Goblin Bombardment here.
And Chain of Vapor is targeting, I don't know what it's targeting.
The issue also is if that Chain of Vapor does go towards the Goblin Bombardment, that means that Rebel may be able to
hit the GITROG, right? Sacking a land, and I imagine this is going to go after the Goblin Bombardment.
The issue is if it does that, Rebel may be interested in bouncing that opposition agent. I'm not sure how much extra Rebel can do this turn, though, with the op agent gone right now.
Well, they're out of mana, which is kind of the issue. So they're going to discard Hulk to this. So that at least is one half of the combo taken care of.
Yep.
Could argue that's the hardest part. So we are going over to Coinman's turn. He is going to discard an Ulamog and shuffle his graveyard into his library.
Putrid Imp is sometimes helpful in just making sure you get action back in your deck, I suppose, when you get those Titans. Unfortunately, GITROG is pretty set back right now. Coinman's going to be probably pretty bummed because I mean, if yeah, I don't Coinman would have to have some type of ritual or something to get GITROG out again because that Grim Monolith is not going to be untapping.
Right.
And that Guy's Cradle's only making 1 mana right now.
Yeah, the Guy's Cradle's a little sad.
Not the best. Yeah, not the best.
It could be worse, but
Could be worse. I mean, it's tapping for a mana. It's an untapped green mana source. That's not the worst.
it at least functions. So
Yeah,
there's
it's better than a tap land. Better than a, I don't know, temple.
Hey, you know what? You say that about Temple of Mystery, but you scribe just right sometimes.
I do love it in casual. I do love a nice Squire land in casual.
So, for the people who are watching out there, who might not be familiar with Dylan and Play to Win, I can't imagine if they're watching CEDH, they aren't familiar with you guys at this point. But what do you guys do over at Play to Win?
Right, yeah, we make CDH content. We make videos, post them once a week on YouTube. We do mainly gameplay, some podcasts. We have some merch, we talk on Twitter, we post on Instagram, but the main thing that we do is basically talk about CEDH on YouTube.
Yeah.
We like to do best of videos. We try to make the best something of CEDH and try to make the videos a little bit fun and entertaining sometimes, and we also bash together some of the strongest decks in the format.
Always enjoy watching your content. So
thanks so much.
Yeah, it's good getting to do stuff with you. Who's Play to Win? Never heard of him. LOL. So I think we're waiting on this shuffle here. Is where we are. Looks like that's done now.
And I think Coinman's only got 1 card in their hand. Is that correct?
I believe that looks accurate.
Is that a GITROG monster?
I believe that is a GITROG monster. So
is that a wild mongrel I see there?
That looks like a wild mongrel. That is not a land.
It's unfortunately the thing that Coinman is looking for the least, probably because he's already got discard outlet, but at least it's a creature. Guy's Cradle is going to be tapping for some more mana now.
That's true. That's true. So it's kind of like a land.
Almost.
So we're going over to Sick Robot's turn. And Sick has developed his mana pretty significantly over the past turn. I feel like Sick is in the driver's seat at the moment.
If we can see a Savine's Reclamation at some point in this game from Golos, from Sick, I would definitely be excited about that because I really want to see that breach being used again.
Yeah.
But
all right, we're getting a Golos search trigger.
I would agree with you that it does seem right now that Sick is in the lead, but that really depends on what's in Sick's hand. Had a good turn last turn, but it depends on what's happening this turn.
Well, I think just from a resource standpoint, right? Like, I think he's the only one not struggling to develop resources at the moment. And we're seeing Coin missing land drop. We've seen Scotty now miss 2 land drops. Rebel missed a land drop.
You're right that Sick does have twice as much mana as any one other player at the table.
Yeah.
Sick has access to 6 mana right here, plus the opposition agent, which is not shutting off Sick's own plan of Golosing and finding a land.
Right.
It's like the Beseiju is defined here.
Okay, that is a little scary, but
yeah, that's the go-to. That definitely means that Peer or Ad Nauseam is coming soon.
So we're going over to Scotty's turn. Scotty draws and passes and misses a 3rd land drop. Goblin Bombardment from Rebel again. And there's Rebel.
You hate to see it from Scotty. Unfortunately, looks like that Windfall was not super kind. But Rebel seems to be trying to go for it again with this Goblin Bombardment. Now, what's nice about the bombardment is that it does do damage to a creature. Not a bad way to get rid of that opposition agent if you need to.
Right. I think a Rebel might have played this incorrectly.
That's sad.
Because I think she is trying to sack the body snatcher to get Hulk back, but I don't believe that works. Because I believe that's an ETB ability.
To be honest with you, I have read Body Snatcher 1,000 times, and I will never understand exactly how it works.
Okay, it looks like that's how it works. Well, we do have the master
I know it has an
of
ETB and a dying trigger. It has both.
Well, the good news is we do have our good friend, the Hulkman, sick robot in the pod to kind of help deal with some of that
true.
stuff.
Yes, it can clarify any Hulk questions, I'm sure.
Is that a Dryad Arbor from... So
Sure
Dryad
is.
Arbor shoots the op agent.
This is pretty,
Oh, wow.
pretty smart.
What a line. All right. So they get the TYMNA out. What a line.
TYMNA out. The opposition agent is shot dead.
Or excuse me. Yeah, the opposition agent is out.
Yeah, opposition agent is done, which means that Rebel can sack her Protein Hulk, which I believe means this may be the end of the game right here.
This might be it.
Unless somebody has some type of interaction with, which Scotty could have. I think spot removal would stop this combo if anyone had some type of, creature removal. But
there's the great abolisher. Never mind. Totally, I guess you don't need the sack outlet, huh?
The sack outlet is already in place, so you can free up some space there. That's even better.
And that looks like it's the game.
Yeah, Hull Breacher is not stopping this one.
Wow.
Even if there was enough mana to cast it. And Rebel just aggressively looking for a way to win. Love to see that.
What a game. That was really impressive. We were just talking about how we thought that Sick was kind of out and ahead, and there goes Rebel and just had exactly what she needed to make that work.
Yeah, it goes to show you, without the information of what's in everyone's hand and what they're seeing at the table, it's so hard to really judge because each player is trying to do something special on their turn, but it doesn't really matter if you're not winning the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for those of you who are watching, I did tell you that there is a new campaign going on with Alter Sleeves, where for those of you new to the campaign, entering the following code SWANS, SWANS, will enter you into 2 raffles. There will be one weekly raffle where you can get an exclusive Alter Sleeve for free, and the other one is for the end of the event where Rebel will give you one of the decks she played in the league. So you will get one of her, played jerseys, if you will. So if you want to enter into that, you can head on over to the Alter Sleeves link in the description below of this video. Enter the code SWANS, SWANS, and you will be able to enter into that. So with that, Dylan, any final thoughts as we kind of wrap up here?
None, other than Rebel's a fantastic player, and watching her aggressively find a win in that game was a glorious thing to see. So I'm glad we got to witness it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week. Take it easy. All right. We are good
to go.